Hi everyone, it's great to connect with you. I hope everyone's doing okay. I just sat through a couple of hours of Vern Harnish's Scaling Up Summit today, and I just wanted to share a couple of things with you that I thought was really beneficial. Vern had on the author of the book, Turn Your Ship Around. His name is David Marquet, and he was with the U.S. Navy, and for 87 days, he and his crew were underwater in their submarine during the Gulf War. And this is some of the things that they did to really make sure that they, kind of kept together, kept their head above water, even though they were, away from their family, friends, and just daily societal things that they are normally used to in their everyday routines in their life while they were underwater for 87 days. So basically, David came up with a leadership language that was really, really important for him and his leaders aboard the submarine with their crew. The first word in their language was routines. So they put in repetitive habits focused on what you can control. So these are things that, even in today with being in social distancing and the uncertainty of where we're at with the virus and our various countries that we're in and what's happening with our business and our kids not in school and all these things that have been sort of pulled out from underneath us, is putting in those repetitive habits that we know that we can do throughout the day and can control. This signals to our body that we're in control, that we've got this, we know what's going on. The other thing that is also a really essential routine that we should be thinking about right now is what time do we go to bed at? Keep that consistent. We know that there's lots of things that are distracting us and our days run longer. We're on all these video calls. We're working remotely. Now our home and our work is all integrated as one. Set a time on a daily basis and make sure you go to bed at the same time every single day. The second language that he talked about creating for yourself was rituals. So we know that in our companies, we would have rituals. Maybe it was like celebrating someone's birthday or anniversaries with the company, or, we've got Easter coming up for some folks that, that's part of their religious belief. And we may do things around the office to help celebrate those things. Keep doing those things. Be creative with the team, pull people together, pull leaders together, and think of creative ways to keep some of those rituals still in place. Or now create new rituals. There's fun things that you can be doing, like look at Jackbox TV. There's like murder mystery trivias you could do. Some, FaceTime apps, have different goofy, bunny ears and things like that you can put on people's faces while they're speaking on a virtual call. Or I've noticed some companies doing like wear your funkiest hat to our next virtual call meeting. But start creating new rituals for your team. It'll be something that will help get them through this time. The third thing he talks about is the difference between red work and blue work. So red work is all the doing work stuff, the physical action. And obviously with some of our jobs being constrained, some of our businesses being shut down, but we're still in operations behind the scenes, there's blue work that can be done. And blue work is the thinking about the red work. So this is where we can improve our red work. This is our processes, our fine tuning of things. This is where lean management or agile management techniques come into play, where we can look at maybe our CRM. And maybe we haven't been collecting enough customer data. Well, now's the time for our sales folks to go in there and really look at how we can expanding on our CRM. Or maybe we've got some internal processes within HR or within IT that we could really start streamlining. So this is a great time to look at red work, but not get stuck in the minutia of it. Let's get into blue work thinking where we can be creative and help our people generate new thoughts and new ideas for the future. Get them thinking about how we can scale up our businesses differently and rework some of the existing processes or customer service offerings. I'm just going to turn my page. The fourth leadership language that he talks about putting in place is replenishing. We need to make sure that we're replenishing ourselves every single day. So just like a shop floor, I come from retail, replenishing our denim wall at the Gap all the time. This is the same thing. Now it's about replenishing our bodies, making sure that you as the leader and also your team is doing the same thing. So you don't have oversight to this now at work. You can't necessarily make sure that there's fruit in the company kitchen. Talk to your people about nourishing their bodies, making sure that they're using good foods. And, it's really easy to be snacking on chips and cookies. And I see people making banana bread and muffins and all these great things, which are really fun to do with kids and families, but not really good for the waistline and can also make us feel sluggish throughout the day and puts a lot of sugar in our body, which also, helps create more anxiety that we don't necessarily need right now. So think about how we're nourishing ourselves, how we're drinking water. Add some lemon juice into that to really make sure that we're getting our vitamin C, which will help in flu prevention. Moving our bodies and just tuning our engine. Keep fine tuning our engine, which is our body. And then the fifth leadership language that he talks about is retreat. We need to make sure that we're putting some personal boundaries on our days. Again, I said this earlier, it's really easy when we're working from home in this new environment, doing virtual meetings all day long, meetings that maybe we would have scheduled for an hour or 2 hours, maybe need to be cut back to half an hour. Our attention spans are limited. We've got a lot of things that are occupying our thoughts right now. How to entertain a 4-year-old while I'm working from home. My spouse may have lost their job and now we've only got one income coming through. Landlord's expecting rent and we haven't got the subsidies yet from the government. Whatever those things may be. So understand that maybe our days are a little bit more compressed. The office day may not be 8 to 5 anymore. It might be 10 to 2. Maybe that's all we can expect from employees right now, and then they can be absolutely giving their best to us. So think about what those personal retreats need to be and respect the personal space. And this is where maybe you need to put in a place around 100% rule. Like if you can't be 100% on board, and that's even you as the leader, let the person know. You know what? I'm not at 100% right now. Let's reschedule this call. Let's reschedule our talk. Give me another hour or whatever that looks like, and then I will give you my 100%. There's no point in showing up at 90% or 10%. It's not going to help the situation. And then the last leadership language that he talks about is respect. So just, talk about respect. Everyone's tense. Everyone's, under a great deal of strain. People have been compressed as far as what their regular lives look like 3-4 weeks ago. So use our sorries, use our pleases, use our thank yous, just common courtesy, and just start practicing those more. And then also if you don't receive it, just assume that the other person was actually saying thank you or saying please or saying sorry to you if they did something to offend you. Let's not jump to conclusions that people don't respect us or don't honor us. Again, just recognize ourselves internally that everyone's under a great deal of stress and they may have forgotten that please, thank you, or sorry. But let's also try giving it. So these are a few things that I pulled away from the call today, again, with Vern Harnish in his Scaling Up Approach Summit. You may be able to contact them and get more information about seeing some of the recorded sessions. If you want to learn more about this approach to leadership, check out the book, again, Turn Your Ship Around by David Marquet. Again, he was a former U.S. Navy captain with his team underwater for 87 days during the Gulf War. Hopefully that you find this helpful. Take care.